We understand that tensions continue to rise in Rivers State ahead of the local government council elections, which is scheduled for today, October 5th. Now, the elections have sparked a major controversy, with the People's Democratic Party, PDP, calling for a boycott, citing a federal high court ruling against the polls. Meanwhile, Governor Siminialayi Fubara insists that the elections will go on despite growing opposition and allegations against the Nigerian police for attempting to disrupt the process of the elections.
The situation has raised plenty of questions from plenty of quarters about the rule of law and role of security agencies, or none thereof, and also the political dynamics in Rivers State. So we'll be speaking with key stakeholders and also analysts to understand the various perspectives on the unfolding story. Joining us is Mr. Chibike Ikenga. He's Publicity Secretary of the Rivers State APC Caretaker Committee. Mr. Ikenga, good morning. We'll be coming to you in a minute.
And thanks for having me.
Yes. And also we have Ugochukwu Oputa, public analyst and also political commentator, who is also in Rivers State as we speak. Ugochukwu, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Good morning. Let me start with you, Mr. Ikenga. We see that you are on the move and on the road, and we hear news of protests. But please tell us what's going on where you're at the moment.
Okay, thank you so much for having me once again. We're APC leadership and members on a procession towards the Port Harcourt Polo Club from the party office. Like you're aware, the party office was last night bombed with explosives and destroying and burning some parts of the building. And serious gunshots also took place. I think there were address press to that effect, but we are processing further to the Polo Club, Port Harcourt Polo Club, to drive home the point that there is no election, that we are obeying the court order, the court judgment that had asked the election to be halted, even though we see some actions that pretend to say that the Rivers State government and the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission insist on disobeying the court judgments.
Right. Can you give us a bit of update? We understand there was a protest earlier today. Is this procession a protest, or what exactly is the aim for your procession today, yourself and other chieftains of the APC and members of the APC?
Yeah, what we are doing is we are driving home the point, making the public know that we still stand on our position that we obey the court judgment which halted the election, and to inform the public that we are not participating in whatsoever way any election which was stopped by the courts. So that's exactly the point we are trying to make by this procession.
Okay, then. We're going to move to Mr. Ugochukwu, who is also on the move as well. Ugochukwu, if you please give us your location and what exactly is happening at that location.
Okay, I'm currently at my 30 Cebu Street, which happens to be where the candidate for the APP, Action People's Party, where he is voting his vote. The situation here has been relatively peaceful. In fact, the participation is very massive. People came out early and used to vote in most of the the units here. The one here, the one at Ward 10, where you have about 5 units in one ward, unit 27, 28, 29, 30, and 31. And one of those units also is the unit to the former Deputy Speaker of Federal House of Representatives, who actually voted Right Honorable Austin Okara. So far, elections have been going quite well and peaceful. Distribution scrutiny starts early as 8 o'clock, 8:30 in some areas. And Rivers State, yes, the absence of police is well noticed. The roads are scanty, only in clusters where people had come out to vote. But I must say that the election speaks so much of the character of Rivers State people and the desire of these persons, of the people of Rivers State, to have for themselves an election where they elect local government executive. Also, we should take in consideration what is the impact, what is the potential of not having this election. According to with respect to the Supreme Court ruling judgment, it means that if Rivers State do not have an elected local government in place, that means they risk not having the federal allocation that is due to those local governments. Right. And it has a ripple effect, because it now means that these persons will be shortchanged of the dividends of democracy. And this is why the governor of Rivers State was among the other governors that met with the president and had an understanding that of a 90-day transition period for local government that are operating in caretaker capacity to transition into an elective.
Ugochukwu, we seem to have lost you there. But this really segues into my next question for Mr. Ikenga. We also, earlier on, we had a correspondent, our reporter, who's live at Obiakpo local government area, one of the polling units there at Obiakpo local government area, earlier this morning. And he said that, the citizens and the voters were out and ready to vote. And he spoke to residents there who cited exactly what Ugochukwu just cited, that they are going to be following the Federal High Court's ruling and also the stipulations of the law, saying that all state governments as well as the state electoral commissions must carry out the local government elections within 90 days as stipulated, and they want to vote. What's your reaction to that, given your procession by the APC?
Oh, okay, thank you. Laws are made and certain persons may decide to disobey laws. That's what we have seen here. So for APC, we are law-abiding as an organization which respects due process. We are not interested in what other decisions anybody or group takes. Our interest is that the judgment of the Federal High Court, Abuja, under Justice Lifu, is sacrosanct. That is where we are. We must obey it, and we're obeying it. That's why they are seeing this procession going on to drive from that point. We are not interested, and we do not know, and we do not believe that there's an election going on, because that would be an affront on the law, and that would be an aberration. So we do not believe in that. We are saying, and we stand so as a party, APC in Rivers State, that because our national leadership is also aware that APC is not participating in this election, well, we are not part of it, because there's no election going on in the first place, as it was halted by that court judgment.
Mr. Ikenga, my question to you is, what happens if at the end of the elections, which you have a procession against, the APC wins? Also, what happens if at the end of the elections, the PDP wins? Could you give us your take on the two different scenarios?
What I know is that the APC is not participating in this election. That's one. Two, what I know, I have heard from press release or press conference carried out by PDP leadership in Rivers State yesterday, was that they are not equally participating in any election, as they are interested in obeying the court judgment from Justice Lifu, Federal High Court, Abuja. So the basis upon which election APC will win or PDP will win is neither here nor there, because in the first place we must participate in an election to either win or lose. And because we are not participating, so there's no need discussing whether we will win or we will lose.
All right, thank you. Mr. Ugochukwu, I'm hoping that you're back with us. Do we have Mr. Ugochukwu back with us now? All right, now, Ugochukwu.
Yes,
Good. Now, let's talk about the absence of security agencies, especially the Nigerian police. Now, regarding this, how has it affected the situation definitively? One, and does this, many people argue that this is a show of sort of like federal might when you actually have the removal of the police by, well, they say in quotes, certain bodies. What does this tell of the, let's use the term, state capture here? Is it inclusive in this conversation, do you think? And these are arguments out there, by the way, not mine personally.
Actually, I'm happy that you've posed this question. Quickly, it's important to know, first of all, just for clarity's sake, given that I have some information and to make the audience have balanced information. Mr. Ikenga over there is a factional, if I could, a factional leader of the APC, because given a court judgment, there is a chairman of the APC, which is who also indicated that the APC is part of the process. APC gave out flags and held sessions where they had candidates for this election. So if he's saying that the APC is not the only party that is not participating in this election, is the PDP. However, the PDP national PDP, through their national publicity secretary, gave a press release yesterday asking all PDP members to fully participate for this election. Now, that, by the way, on the past area of not having the police. In fact, today I said to myself, I posted on my social media, that how can we be experiencing such peaceful election without the police? It's even looking like the police was the ingredient creating a chaotic state. The roads are free, people are going out about their business unintimidated, and you find out that everybody is contemplating themselves. However, given the incident that led to this process, that happened at the recent office, you can see that there is a deliberate attempt to employ the use of this security architecture to intimidate and subvert the will of the people. The governor cried out. He's even made a direct accusation to the IGP. This is not the first time. The governor, we in the state have even said that the governor is playing too much with kid blows. Members of the governor's team have been arrested. As House of Assembly members have been arrested. The current candidate of the APP was arrested in Abuja, all using the antics of police intimidation to subvert the will of the people. Now look at how I used to say it. There's no fear. Let me tell you, there's something that is as sacrosanct as the right to life and association. There's no judge that can stop the process of election. It has an implication. This comes from our bad history of June 12, where election was, the will of the people was circumvented on the basis of the stoppage of election. You cannot stop an election. If you feel the election is faulty, the process of courts are there for you to correct that fact or annul the election. But once an election date has been declared, the only people that have the ability to shift the election is the umpire, the body in charge of that election.
Mr. Ugochukwu,
no court can do that.
Mr. Ugochukwu, I don't want you to go too far. You said something. You said it's a deliberate attempt. I need you to please be specific. Deliberate attempt by whom?
I will tell you clearly here. The minister of the FCC has his supporters, first of all, carried out protests. You know, he's someone who is also in the PDP and in the APC. As I talk to you, the APC, which Ikenga represents, is an arm of the minister. And we have seen this over time, where the council, we had the governor appointed Caretaker committee to mind the local government in the last 3 months. But the police officers have kept these persons out of the facility, duly owned by them. They've not been, these caretaker chairmen have not been able to access this party. They have to improvise so that local government workers can have a place where they can go about the duty of service to the people. And this has been going on over time. So the police has been caught multiple times, neck deep into this grand plan and scheme of things of state capture. I think they should be called out. The governor have done that too.
Ugochukwu, many thanks for your submission there.